You hear about AI everywhere, right? One day it's discovering a new antibiotic. The next, it's winning an art competition. But is that the same AI that's picking out your next movie on Netflix? Well, that's the big question. So let's dive in and really sort out the reality from the science fiction.
And this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. And look, this isn't just a fun debate for tech geeks. The answer to this question has huge real-world implications, from the future of our jobs to how we solve our biggest problems. It even makes us question what intelligence really is.
Here's a good way to think about it. Today's AI is like a world-class chef who has perfected just one incredible dish. I mean, they can make that dish better than anyone else on the planet, hands down. But AGI, the AI we're dreaming of, that's a master chef who can walk into any kitchen, look at any ingredients, and just invent a brand new gourmet meal on the spot. One is an amazing specialist. The other is a true generalist.
Okay, so first, let's just ground ourselves in the here and now. The technology that you and I interact with every single day, it's properly known as weak AI, or probably more accurately, narrow AI.
So the most important thing to get is this. Narrow AI is basically a one-trick pony. Now, it can be a very, very impressive one-trick pony. Take a self-driving car, for example. It's processing billions of data points every second to get you from point A to point B. That's an incredible achievement. But that exact same super smart AI, it can't write a poem, it can't diagnose a disease, it can't even tell you a decent joke. Its genius is completely locked inside that one box.
What's really fascinating is watching how this AI has evolved. It's kind of like watching it grow up. We started with these simple rule-based systems, like an old chess computer that just follows a bunch of if this, then that commands. Then we got to machine learning, where we taught machines to learn from data. That's how your spam filter keeps getting smarter. Then you've got reinforcement learning, where an AI learns through trial and error, kind of like a robot teaching itself how to walk. And now we're in this explosive era of generative AI, where machines can create totally new stuff, text, music, and yeah, even those super realistic fake videos you've heard about called deepfakes. But here's the thing. As amazing as all these specialized AIs are, they all share one big fundamental weakness. They can perform these tasks with superhuman skill, but they don't actually understand what they're doing. And that's where we hit a wall. So it can write code, it can make art, it can drive a car. With all that power, what could possibly be missing, right? Well, it turns out that for all its amazing abilities, today's AI is missing some of the most basic things that we, as humans, just take for granted.
First off, it can't generalize. An AI can become a grandmaster at chess, the best in the world. But you can't then ask it to take that same strategic logic and apply it to, say, financial planning. The skills it learns in one area just don't transfer over to another. It's stuck.
Second, its entire world is just the data it was trained on. It's a classic case of garbage in, garbage out. An AI's performance is really just a direct reflection of the data we give it. So if that data is biased or incomplete or just plain wrong, well, the AI's results will be too. It doesn't question its sources, it just mirrors them.
And this one is huge. It has zero grasp of context. It can process words and sentences, but it doesn't get the meaning behind them. No humor, no sarcasm, no subtext. This is why you could ask a chatbot for a recipe for bad soup as a joke, and it might give you a horrifyingly serious list of ingredients. It doesn't get that you're probably not a vampire. And finally, there's this really weird thing called hallucinations. Imagine you're taking a test, and you don't know the answer to a question. So instead of just leaving it blank, you confidently make up something that sounds really plausible. That's pretty much what an AI is doing when it hallucinates. It's filling in the gaps in its knowledge with information that's completely fabricated, but often sounds totally convincing. So if that's the ceiling for weak AI, what does the next level even look like? This is where we step out of today's tech and into the theoretical, absolutely fascinating world of strong AI, or as it's better known, artificial general intelligence.
AGI is the holy grail of AI research. It's this incredibly ambitious dream of building a machine that doesn't just perform a task, but can actually think, reason, learn, and create in the same flexible, adaptable way that a human being can.
And this table just perfectly shows the massive gap between where we are now and where researchers hope to go. On one side, you have our current AI, which is kind of like a super-trained but very limited assistant. And on the other side, you have the vision for AGI, which would be a true partner in discovery and problem-solving. It's really the difference between a tool and a collaborator.
So, how in the world do we get from here to there? Well, the quest for AGI is one of the single biggest scientific challenges of our time, and researchers are exploring some truly mind-bending ideas to try and make it happen.
There are a few major schools of thought on this. The symbolic approach, some call it good old-fashioned AI, tries to map all of human knowledge into a system of logical rules. The connectionist approach, which is the engine behind today's deep learning, tries to build something that works like the brain's network of neurons. Then you've got the whole organism idea, which says you can't just have a brain in a jar. True intelligence needs a body to interact with and learn from the world, just like a kid does. And of course, there are hybrid approaches that try to mash everything together to get the best of all worlds.
But the mountains we still have to climb are just immense. And these aren't just technical problems. They get to the very core of what it means to be human. I mean, how do you write code for a gut feeling, or for a broken heart, or for a sudden flash of creative genius? How do you teach a machine the rich context that we get from taste and touch and smell? These are the kinds of questions that keep AI researchers up at night.
Okay, so we've drawn a pretty clear line between the AI we have today and the AGI of tomorrow. But why does this actually matter to you and me? Well, it's all about how we navigate the hype, the fear, and the future of this incredible technology. Because when you understand this difference, you can make sense of the crazy headlines. It lets you get genuinely excited about the real progress being made with narrow AI, without being totally freaked out by some robot apocalypse that is still firmly in the realm of sci-fi. It just grounds the whole conversation in reality. But if that future ever does arrive, the impact would be almost impossible to imagine. As one expert put it, AGI wouldn't just be another tech upgrade, it would be a fundamental, radical shift in the story of life on this planet.
Ultimately, this whole quest for AGI is a journey into the nature of intelligence itself. And as we push forward on that path, we have to remember that we're not just building smarter machines. We're also holding up a mirror to ourselves and learning a lot more about what it truly means to be human.